Hi, everyone. This is Brian Eisenhower. Welcome to the show today. Chances are you signed on because you heard about what the title of the topic I'm going to talk about is today. And that title is Why Realtor Networking Ideas Do Not Work. Kind of an unusually negative tone about why something doesn't work, but I really wanted to get your attention here because, of course, I'm going to start with this. Of course, there are realtor networking ideas that do work. Real estate agents can effectively network in a way that helps them move towards their goals, depending on what those goals may be. I'm going to assume that your goals are in some way to increase production, increase your income, or if you are a manager or a leader of a team or brokerage, maybe to increase your agent count and therefore increase production and income. Sure, all of the, networking can work for that, but it usually doesn't. And here's why. There's a general excuse out there that permeates the real estate industry, and that is people saying, I don't like to lead generate for new business, or I don't like to recruit agents. Instead, I'm just going to get out there and network and be social. That's what I'm good at. And because it's just a lot easier than being purposeful about your work. So what you're essentially saying is, I'm just going to get out there and have fun rather than work, and that's the hard part there. So we have to be very purposeful about networking. So there has to be a little bit of work in there. I mean, after all, you're telling your spouse or your family or even your kids that you're going to work every day. So we want to make sure that there is a purpose behind it. I'll give you an example. I cannot tell you how many people I've known in 30 plus years of coaching and training real estate agents that have said, I'm going to pay a lot of money to join a golf country club because and then I'm going to golf a lot too. Take time, I'm going to spend time and money joining a golf country club because that's going to connect me to a lot of people that are going to buy and sell real estate. And sure enough, it inevitably does connect them to some people that are going to buy and sell real estate, so they justify it. And that is their excuse for not purposefully lead generating regularly. So what has really happened there is, yes, they're getting enough. It's kind of like they're getting enough success to justify that they're playing all the time. Yet had they not spent that money and all of that time and just lead generated, they would have made 10 times more money. So that's where the problem comes. Now, not saying you can't, use a golf course membership or a country club membership to your benefit if you're purposeful about it. And purposeful means you're there and you're constantly talking about real estate and you're asking for business and you're purposely meeting new people. You're not there drinking all the time. You're there to work too. Then it can be profitable. But I'm going to tell you that is not the norm. Most people are kind of, lying to themselves and everyone else, and they're there just having fun and they're not working. And yes, they get a couple deals and they say, well, thank goodness I'm a member of the country club. It paid for itself. I only pay this much money and that one commission per year pays for that membership. And they'll use an excuse like that. But they're not talking about, the fact that they're omitting the fact they actually should be lead generating outside of golf. And they're omitting for all the time they're wasting that they don't have time to lead generate. And I don't mind if you take time to golf. I don't mind if you have life balance. That's not what I'm saying. Just don't use it as an excuse to not have time when you're supposed to be working. If your real goal is to grow your business, we need to do things to generate new business. Whether that's grow your sphere of influence, prospect for business you don't know, recruit more agents to your team or brokerage. We need to be purposeful about that. Trying to say that I'm going to join these different memberships and things, and that's going to do it and make all the difference in my lifestyle and my income and my life balance, you're going to quickly see that that's not, unless you're very purposeful with it. But it's amazing how people will say that and they will justify those things to themselves. I'm not just talking about, the golf course. That's a very common common thing out there, but I've seen it with just social events. You know what I mean? I'm going to a lot of parties, going to a lot of barbecues, going to a lot of fundraisers, community events, things like that. I'm just attending, and I'm getting to know people, but we're not talking about real estate. We're not even often letting them know we're in real estate. We're not following up with people, adding them to our database. We're not asking for business. We're not doing anything that would gain the respect of people that you're a successful agent. And that's what purposeful conversations do. A lot of us, we don't want to be that pushy salesman person. And I'm certainly not asking you to do that. But, they have lots of real estate agent options out there, lots of them. Most people know many, many different real estate agents. The one they choose is usually the one they respect the most, not necessarily the one they're the most socially obligated to. It's the one that they need to get the job done, especially if they're selling their house or they're buying a house. They need to get their offer accepted. If they're listing their house, they want to get the highest price. They tend to go with the one they respect the most when it comes to their money. So they need to respect someone that has the confidence, that is firm, that can literally look at them and say, hey, that will talk about the business, that will talk about the fact that they'll ask questions about it, that has that confidence. It's not the one that's shy and wants to beat around the bush and hopes that there's some social obligation that's going to get created down the road because you've buddied up to them as a friend. That's actually pretty manipulative. That's not genuine. Now we're just networking to be friends, to create a social obligation so that peer pressure kicks in and they feel like they have to use you because they know you. We're trying to use guilt that way. To get out there and actually talk about the business, to ask questions about the business, that's different. That's coming at, in a genuine fashion, and you're displaying your industry knowledge, your focus, your commitment, all of those things, and most importantly, your confidence. And that's what people want. It's kind of like, if you need to compare it to an industry, it'd be the attorney industry. People may not like attorneys. They all may be jerks. However, not so much when you really need one. Then you always want that jerk, right? And if you really want them to call you when it's time to buy or sell real estate, show them that confidence. This whole too cool for school thing doesn't carry well, right? So we need to be very purposeful in our conversations. Otherwise, just networking to be networking, it's just not going to work. And that's what I mean by this, right? I can take that even further. People joining associations of realtors, going to the community events that the Association of Realtors hosts, or joining committees or getting involved in that. Oftentimes these are excuses just to party, and we're saying, hey, this is really honing our craft for the business and we're networking for our business, when we're really just looking for excuses to have fun. And then we say we don't have time or a desire to try to generate business, which is fine. If your goal is just to have fun, then, I'll go for it. But if your goal is to actually generate more income and a living, then I'd be a little bit more purposeful with my time and effort. And quite frankly, networking with other agents in your local area is typically not going to get you a lot of new business. Those are the people that aren't going to give it to you. And I guess I can understand if you're going to national conventions and things and you're looking for referral partners. But again, people refer not just because they know you, they refer because of your success. So people typically want to refer to someone who's experienced, who handles a lot of sales, because those agents are going to be the ones that don't mishandle the clients you're referring to them. So if you really want to get a lot of referrals, generate a lot of business, get a lot of online reviews on Zillow and Google and all the other online review sources. And that's how people figure out who to refer clients to, because they know these are safe bets, because they have tons of reviews and they've got a historical track record of lots of success and a lot of sales under their belts. That's how that happens. So just networking to be networking, to make friends with people. Boy, don't let that be a large lead generation source unless you're very purposeful about your networking, which means you follow up with these people, you evidence your success to these people, and you stay in contact. Same with broker open houses. You'll see agents go broker open houses to preview homes, to preview properties, or they go on realtor caravans and things like that, just to network with other agents and, preview houses before you show them to a client, and which is kind of a traditional thing that was started, pre-internet. Now we can see a lot of that stuff and send them to our clients, and the clients can see a lot of it. But if our excuse is just to network, again, that's not purposeful. It's the same thing with getting involved with Association of Realtor events. Now, if you're a real estate recruiter, in other words, you're a manager, or you're running a team, and you're doing that to get into conversation with agents, it could be purposeful, so long as you're then, setting appointments because you've met these people and you're using that warm lead that you've created to then reach out and set a recruiting appointment where you can sit down and get very purposeful in your conversation to get to know these people and start your recruiting process, okay, so long as we're purposeful about it. But if we're just saying, hey, we're just going to go and get to know agents, and we don't follow up and we don't get purposeful ever, and we're just trying to get to know people as social friends and social acquaintances, again, it often does more harm than good because people don't take you seriously. They just think you as a friend. You haven't shown any confidence, and you're using that as your excuse to do work when you're not doing the real purposeful work that you should be doing. That's the biggest problem, is when we do these networking ideas in lieu of the real work. And we tell ourselves that's good enough. That's the most harm that's done. Okay. So we really want to avoid that kind of behavior. That's why I generally speaking, when I hear about, real estate agents networking, I tend to cringe because, 9 times out of 10, it's not very purposeful and it's an excuse to not do work. Now, again, I like all of those ideas if we're very purposeful, if we have a goal for the amount of leads we're going to warm up and how we're going to follow up with them, and we have a process to put them through, it can be highly effective. But without that system in place and that accountability in place, and those goals in place beforehand, the likelihood that you're going to do it is very, very slim. You're going to go to that social event and you're just going to have some fun and you're going to say, oh, what the heck? I'm just going to make friends. And, it may get you one transaction, which quite frankly is the worst thing that can happen, because now you're going to convince yourself it's actually working and you don't need to do the other stuff because you got one transaction. I used to coach a long time ago. We're talking maybe 30 years ago. I used to coach I volunteer coached youth basketball, and a buddy of mine and I did it. And there was this one kid, he probably 7 or 8 years old, and his name was Golden. And boy, he was a golden basketball player. He was very, very talented, this kid. He could do crazy things with the basketball. But we were trying to teach Golden the basics. Golden needed to learn to pass and dribble properly and shoot and run the offense so that we could win. He could learn to be a good team player. And Golden had a tendency to take bad, crazy shots that wouldn't go in because he could make a lot of shots. There's no doubt about it, but sometimes you get carried away and take some horrible shots, right? Well, the worst thing that happened was when Golden took a horrible shot and it actually went in. Because now Golden believed he could take more of that horrible shot. And then it was harder to coach him how to play the game correctly so that he could advance his, basketball career in the best way for Golden. Keep taking crazy wild shots and upset coaches and never really go anywhere. And then you get frustrated. And it's very similar, with real estate agents. Don't be Golden. Don't reward yourself by taking bad shots, then finally making one and saying, well, that's what I'm going to do from now on. Thank goodness. Now I get to have fun all the time. Don't buy into your own sales pitch. That's why a good coach will hold you accountable to that kind of stuff and really make sure that we're using our time and money and resources effectively. Realtor networking can be okay, but let's make it purposeful. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks for being on the show today. Can't wait to see you next week.